me some dog-proof traps. Alright, here we are at the first stop journey, and I'll show you guys exactly what we're doing here. First off, let me just show you what I'm working with here today. Let me set this down so you can see. Alright, so squatted down here so you guys can see this since I'm self-filming this whole deal. But this is just a Duke trap. This is one of their dog-proof units. Very simple, as you can tell. You've got a trigger down in there, and all you have to do is collapse this, bring this little pin down to the trigger, and latch it. So I'm not going to latch it till we get out there, but what I've done on this piece here is I've actually added cable to it. So you can see this is how the unit's going to come. It's going to stop right here, so you can either stake it down or whatever you want to do. We have added cable to it. Now this is cable that coons or anything that gets in, it's not going to be able to break. Actually, I added a little spring. Dad helped me do all this inside here. That way they can actually get some pulling power and aren't going to be able to like really get great tension to pull their hands out of here or to dislodge it, I guess, in any way. But got a little spring there if by chance that spring actually did break. We actually got cable, I don't know if you can see it there, cable all around it so it will catch it. And then I got kind of like a little leader here that I can wrap around a tree or a stake or anything that's the coon's not able to work it up the tree and get out there. I'll show you more when I set it up out there, but that makes it very simple and quick. So I've got, I don't know, about 6 of them here, and I can have these all set up on my property, baited and everything, probably in less than 30 minutes if I really wanted to. But it makes it really quick to set up on a piece of property. And what I'll be doing here is I'm going to trap this property pretty hard, probably the rest of this week. We've got a cold front coming in, then I am out of town, so I've got to set all these off, and then I'm going to come back and I'll probably go throw these out on another piece of property. And what I'm trying to do is just try to knock down basically nest predation, and so it's a lot of coons or possums will be getting this. Sometimes we'll get some skunks, but normally you're going to get coons and possums, occasional gray fox in it. But I want to knock those populations down the best that I can. So this is a cost-effective way to manage your predators on your property. Right here on the hunting grounds, I've owned it about 3 years now. The first year, you did not see a turkey on this property. I think first and foremost, you've got to improve the habitat. That's going to be your #1 thing to really increase your deer or turkey populations on your property. Improve the habitat here, and the turkeys started coming in. They were in the area, but they started coming in, then they started nesting, and then they started growing a population right here on the hunting grounds. So the last 2 seasons I've been able to shoot my own turkeys on my own property, which is pretty dang awesome. But the habitat's improved greatly, and taking nest predators and predators in general out of the equation definitely does help. So I'm going to go out here and set this up and show you guys where I'm setting this one up. So anyway, I like to set most of my traps that I can up and down roadways or 4-wheeler trails, because I can get this mule in here, run up and down here in the morning and check all these traps really, really easy and quick, because we don't have a lot of time to check traps in the morning, got to get to work. So I'm going to be setting this one right here. What we've got here is a tree line. You can see this hard line right through here, and predators of all shapes and sizes, coyotes, bobcats, coons, whatever, we've seen them while sitting here in the redneck or up in the tree stand across this way. And it's just because they naturally are going to travel down this tree line. They come out of this woods that's back here in this holler, and they're going to walk right down through here, go ahead and cross the road. And the nice thing is this is a quickest spot for them to get back into the wood. So this is just a natural funnel right here for them. And I'm going to set this up right here on one of these cedar trees. Got it around the cedar tree, went ahead, and the way that I've designed this is these loops that I have to actually put this trap down through. When it is opened, it is not able to get through those loops, but when it is condensed and ready to fire, it's easily passed through the loop on there. You loop it around the tree. The coon, probably is what we're going to catch right here, or possum or whatever it may be, is not going to be able to slip this up the tree because it's hitting on all these branches right here. So it is going to be able to stay right here. And another thing I do like about doing it this way is that these animals are going to try to get out of here, and a lot of times they're just going to rip and roar all the way around here. But a lot of times if you give them a little ways to climb like this, they're going to get caught and climb up this tree and just kind of hang out until you come and get them. And what am I using for bait? Just whatever I got around the house. I actually had these things left over from last year, so luckily I've got it. So I get the cheapest kind of cat food that you can. I think I spent about $1 right there on that. And then one of my favorites here is sardines and mustard sauce. I will actually open this and then kind of mince it up in a bowl and then put it right there in the trap. I'll put some of that cat food in the trap and kind of throw a trail out across, so when they're crossing through here they get on the trail, come in and get caught. Ew, I don't like those. So there you go. Yeah, you can just dump them in and you can mince them up once you got it all in there. I always take like a little fork like this and just break it off so it can stay in the container and stay upright, but that way you don't ever lose this and have to use a stick or your fingers or anything like that. So you just want to mince it up. Yum. Some of you guys are probably drooling over this. That's kind of gross, but whatever. To each their own. I don't like sardines. I love fish. I just don't like the whole sardine thing. So anyway, chop it up just like so. There you go, and it's ready to bait up. If you want, you can put your cans like up around your bait and stuff. It's something shiny, it's gonna get their attention. You can definitely do that as well if you really want to. Like I said, I'm not too worried about scent. I'm out here, I'm mainly targeting coons and possums, and they are very curious creatures. I don't think they're very worried about scent. Otherwise, they'd be really worried about coming up to my back porch when I set trash outside and getting into my trash. It has my scent all over it right next to my house. Doesn't seem to bother them. I can promise you it's not going to bother them out here. Alright, so out to the second location, what I'm going to do is just set these up and just kind of show you the locations. I'm not going to show you, give you the whole spiel on how I'm doing it again, but I've got the Spy Point Solar right here, and I've got one of my water troughs that's just gravity fed water from runoffs. You can see it's kind of filled in a lot with leaves, but this has been a huge area of activity for coons and deer both, but I've seen a ton of coon pictures on that camera. So what I'm going to do is, I don't have a tree small enough out here in the open to put the dog proof around. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to put it right over here. Got a draw that I know the coons like to travel up. They travel up through here and actually cross the road up here, but they travel up through it to get right up here to this little water source because it's so dry on top of this hill. So I'm going to go ahead and put it around one of these little white oaks. Throw a little trail out here and see if we can't catch one mingling around that water source and get them pulled over here and get them in the trap. Well, I'm down to one of the final traps here, and I'm on the back of my property here at the little water hole that doesn't hold water year round. It's a limiting factor here on the hunting grounds. There's just not a lot of water sources. So naturally, when you have one, a lot of animals are going to gather around it. I do have a small tree down here at the base of it. I didn't see a whole lot of coon tracks or anything. And the thing is, at night when these animals are going to be out, your wind currents are going to be going down the hill into these low little valleys. And so I didn't want it to kind of just be captured in this little area here. I've got this area that I do mow and brush hog up through here, so there are these four-wheeler or truck trails that intersect right here, and a lot of animals come up through here. A lot of coons. This is a big persimmon patch. There's not really any kind of persimmons left. They might get in here and scrounge around a little bit, but that was the nearest tree that I had there, and so I went ahead and hooked it up. Got about 8 foot before you get to the trail, but I threw the trail all the way out, so they will intersect it. If they do use this, it's actually right here on a very used deer trail, walks right beside it. And so if the predators decide to take that, any coons or possums or anything, then hopefully we'll snag them right there in the trap. But that's super easy. I've got them all about set, and we'll just have to wait till the morning. We'll see how many of these little critters that we can catch, and when I come back, it'll be tomorrow morning, hopefully with traps full. We'll see. Got this big front coming in tonight, and it's either going to be really, really good trapping in the morning or just absolutely awful, and maybe nothing will move before this big front comes in. We'll see. It's a gamble. See you in the morning. Well, it rained last night and finally got done raining this morning. Out checking the traps real quick after it cleared up enough that I could run out here and not get absolutely soaked. And good start of the day. First trap had a possum in it, and we'll keep running these traps and see what else we get in these. Hopefully it'll be a pretty good morning, but with the rain that came in last night, I didn't know if we were going to have anything on our traps this morning or not, so here we go. Well, there is the last trap set right there. Small haul today, just one possum, but it's better than nothing. So the weather came in quicker yesterday evening than they were expecting. Maybe just didn't get a lot of movement last night. I don't know, but I'm gonna run the traps tomorrow, and got a few more days of running these traps on this property and see if we can't get some good sized coons off of here. Well, morning's off to a good start. That was a very large possum. One trap, nothing. One trap, big possum. We'll see what else we got. All right, well, a little bit better run this morning. Got a big coon and a big possum. Exactly what I'm looking for to take off of here. I'm gonna reset some of these traps, rebait some of them because some of them did get rained on pretty good, and just freshen them up. Got a few more days of trapping here on the hunting grounds. A lot of you guys ask, what am I doing with the furs on these? Well, back when I was a kid, I used to sell these and actually make some pretty good money. Nowadays, it's really tough. Got a local guy here that does take furs. He will take these animals and he does his own tanning and stuff. Now, that all depends on the shape of the fur and the size of the animal, but we like to try to get the fur and take it when we can. But otherwise, great management tool for managing your property is taking off these predators, and these are going to help protect some turkey nests. We've got to stay on top of these every single year because they do kind of come back in and fill the void in these areas when we trap them out really hard like we have here on the hunting grounds. I don't have a lot of nest predators because we trap it hard every single year, but they do come back in here, so it's good to get in there and trap it out. But that's it. Pretty simple, really effective, but that's pretty much it. I've got to reset some of these traps. If you guys enjoyed this video, comment down below, give a big thumbs up, and guys, until next time, have a better than average day.